We are taught that the Bible is the ultimate, complete historical and spiritual record of humanity. We are told it has been perfectly preserved, unchanged over thousands of years, offering the foundational timeline of human morality. A sacred, untouchable book that contains everything we need to know about our origins. But what if the version sitting on your shelf is a lie by omission? What if it is missing the most terrifying chapters in human history? There is an ancient text that was studied by early Christians and revered by ancient scholars, a text that detailed a time when otherworldly advanced beings descended to Earth, altered our DNA, and created a rogue race of towering, cannibalistic giants. But before you could read the truth about these entities, the early church stepped in. They intentionally banned the text, ripping it from the biblical canon and burying it in the shadows to hide humanity's true, horrifying origins. Welcome to Forbidden Origins. Today, we are opening the book they didn't want you to read. Let's talk about Noah's Ark. The mainstream narrative we all learn in Sunday school gives us a heavily sanitized, almost childlike version of the Great Flood. We are told a simple story about a righteous man, a wooden boat full of paired animals, and a flood sent by the Creator merely to wash away general human wickedness. People were just being bad, so God hit the reset button. Simple, right? Wrong. The Great Flood wasn't just about human sin. It was a targeted, desperate planetary reset, a sterilization protocol. If you look closely at the Bible they did let you read, there is a massive, glaring plot hole. Genesis chapter 6, verse 4 casually states, "The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God went to the daughters of humans and had children by them." Wait, the Nephilim? Giants? Who were the sons of God? Genesis gives you zero context. And why? Because the context was ripped out and hidden in the Book of Enoch. Enoch was Noah's great-grandfather, and his surviving book acts as a terrifying manual of genetic tampering. It reveals that 200 advanced, non-human entities known as the Watchers descended to the summit of Mount Hermon. They didn't just rebel against heaven, they initiated a forbidden biological breeding program. They mated with human women, and the offspring were the Nephilim, a genetically engineered master race of giants. These Watchers, led by entities named Semja and Azazel, didn't just breed, they taught primitive humanity forbidden advanced knowledge. They taught us metallurgy to forge weapons of war, chemistry to create cosmetics, and the dark arts of sorcery. They accelerated human technology, and in return, their giant offspring devoured the earth. Now, the church will tell you that the Book of Enoch is just apocryphal fantasy, a medieval forgery not worthy of your attention. But the earth itself proved them wrong. In 1947, a Bedouin shepherd stumbled into a cave in the Qumran Desert and made the greatest archaeological discovery of the 20th century, the Dead Sea Scrolls. Among the oldest biblical texts ever found, perfectly preserved in clay jars for over 2,000 years, were multiple fragmented copies of the Book of Enoch. This proved absolute authenticity. The ancient Essenes, the very people who wrote and guarded the scriptures, deeply revered the Book of Enoch. It wasn't a myth to them, it was history. So why did our modern religious institutions hide it? Because it's not an isolated story. If you look across the globe, the exact same historical event is recorded by completely disconnected civilizations. The Sumerian texts speak of the Anunnaki, towering gods who came from the sky to manipulate human DNA. Ancient Indian epics describe advanced beings and flying machines. The Native American Paiute tribe has detailed legends of the Site Ka, a race of red-haired, cannibalistic giants who waged war on humans. This isn't just an ancient Jewish myth, it is a globally recorded cross-cultural historical event. And this anomaly doesn't just exist on paper, it exists in the dirt beneath our feet. Look at the inexplicable megaliths scattered across the globe. Baalbek, Sacsayhuaman, the Great Pyramids, stones weighing upwards of 1,000 tons, lifted and fitted with laser-like precision that modern cranes struggle to replicate today. Mainstream archaeologists want you to believe that men in loincloths moved these with copper chisels and wooden rollers. But the Book of Enoch provides the only logical blueprint. A hybrid race of giants equipped with forbidden advanced technology built them. And what about their bones? If you look at newspaper archives from the 1800s and early 1900s across the United States, you will find hundreds of reports of 9-foot to 15-foot skeletons being unearthed from ancient mounds. But strangely, these bones were almost always handed over to massive institutions like the Smithsonian and then quietly vanished from the public record forever. So let me get this straight. These highly advanced watchers came down from the heavens, bypassed all of our primitive technology, and their grand cosmic master plan was to crossbreed with humans just to create giant hangry toddlers that ate absolutely everything in sight? Honestly, as far as alien invasion plans go, it's a lot more creative than just blowing up the White House with a laser beam. But I guess if you're a 15-foot giant with an apocalyptic metabolism, every day is a cheat day. But let's get back to the terrifying reality. The Book of Enoch wasn't removed from the Bible because it was historically inaccurate. It was removed because it was entirely too accurate. Fast forward to the 4th century. The early church fathers are sitting at the Council of Laodicea, deciding exactly which books get to go into the official Bible and which ones are burned. Why target Enoch? Because the Book of Enoch strips the elite of their ultimate authority. Think about it. If the masses knew that demons or angels were actually physical, extraterrestrial, or interdimensional beings capable of manipulating human genetics, it changes the entire foundation of human supremacy. The church built an empire by convincing you that salvation comes only through them. But if human history is actually a story of genetic tampering by advanced cosmic entities, the church loses its monopoly on your soul. For centuries, global power structures have kept the most profound secrets from the prying eyes. They erased our true history, reducing terrifying, literal cosmic events into simple, easily digestible moral fables. They made the Great Flood a story about a cute boat with animals, rather than what it truly was, a brutal, targeted extermination of an alien-human hybrid race. They banned the truth to keep the masses docile, to maintain absolute control over the human narrative, because a population that doesn't know its true origin is a population that is easy to rule.